Hi, this is Ed Bighead, and I'm on the Brute Squad. Today we're going to be doing the first of hopefully many interviews with a Dodger fan who simply wishes to be known as La Lengua. All right, welcome back to the interview. We are here with La Lengua, as he prefers, and we are going to be using this interview to study the mind of a Los Angeles Dodger fan. Almost as if Doogie Howser studied that huge worm bug in the film Starship Troopers. However, we will use words as our instruments of study. First question there, La Lengua, and thanks for joining us today. We appreciate it.
No worries.
The Dodgers have lost 11 in a row against the Diamondbacks until yesterday. How do you feel about this?
Feel okay. It's still a lot of games to be played, and all is well. After the All-Star break, I'll start being a little concerned if they continue in this path, but once Turner comes back, we should be okay.
Okay, good question. Now, you're from Los Angeles, for those that don't know you. What part of Los Angeles are you from?
I was born actually in Anaheim, but I am not an Angel fan, nor never was. My family is all Dodgers. I grew up in Compton, California, where I started my adventures being a Dodger fan.
What brings you to Arizona, specifically the Valley of the Sun?
Well, I came out here in '06. At that time, I was only 14, so I came with my parents, and that's why I'm here.
So you had no choice then?
No choice at all.
If you had a choice, would you return to Los Angeles?
Well, that is a good yes, I would.
Right.
As much as I love Arizona, nothing bad about it, and love the hot, that's fine with me. But, I mean, I like my natural habitat of being in California.
All right, thanks. All right, tell us something that we may not know about Dodger fans. Do you have souls? Do you sleep in coffins?
Well, we may have souls. Some of us choose not to sleep in coffins, but yeah, we don't. No coffins.
Chevy Tahoe or Chevy Suburban?
Oof. Well, if you get a Tahoe and there's an extended Tahoe, then it's basically a Suburban. But I'd rather have a Suburban.
Serious question here. How do you feel about Los Angeles' dismal start to the season? You kind of touched on that a little bit with an earlier answer.
It doesn't really bother me. Like I said, there is a lot of baseball left to be played. There's not really much I can say. I mean, everybody on the team that is a fan wants their team to go 162-0. It's not going to happen. As much as we want it, it's not going to happen.
So you're not worried at this point?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'll get worried if we start battling for the wild card. That's when I'd be worried.
What is something a typical Dodger fan would heckle an outfielder for? For example, what would your go-to heckle be for Yasmani Tomas?
Oh, man. Well, honestly, I'd probably heckle him something in Spanish.
What would it be for our Spanish speakers?
Tomás vale verga, wey. I mean, he sucks dick. Roughly translated.
All right. And do you heckle often at baseball games?
No, very rare. I sit with the white people, the nice rich white people. So it's kind of hard. They get offended, and then security comes, and I feel like it's not right. But no, I don't. I like to sit in good seats, so I keep quiet.
All right. How do you feel about Arizona's hot fire start to the season?
I feel like they start hot every year, and then they kind of like the flame turns out after mid-season. But I'm hoping they stay hot the whole year and make for interesting NL West. I like good baseball, and that's all that matters.
Good answer. Who is your favorite current Los Angeles Dodger and why?
I like. It's hard. I'm happy that Kemp came back, but I'm a Puig fan and a Turner fan, but I like to say Puig better, just because he's Hispanic. If Turner was Hispanic, he'd be my number one favorite player.
Do you drink Montejo beer in real life?
Ooh, yes, and it's not that good. It is disgusting, but I do drink it because sometimes that's all that there is to drink.
Tell us your thoughts on Los Angeles' starting rotation. Who do you feel is doing well, and who are you concerned most about at this point?
Rich Hill, after his last performance, I don't know. But it's still early. Everybody likes Kershaw, but I'm more of a Maeda fan myself. Kershaw is great. He's our best pitcher, but Maeda should have been in the rotation last World Series, not coming out of the bullpen.
We kind of feel the same way about Patrick Corbin, I believe. Not in the World Series, obviously, but in the postseason. How do you think the Dodgers are going to do during the next series versus the Diamondbacks May 1st through 3rd?
Well, all I hope is they do good, but what I would rather see is better baseball than anything. But yeah, hopefully the Dodgers come in hot and stay hot into and after the All-Star break.
Julio Bertos or Filibertos?
Oof. Ah, man, I don't know. It's still a Bertos, but maybe a Foley Bertos? I don't know.
Paula Bertos?
Yes.
Your leader, Dave Roberts, stated publicly last postseason that he prohibited his players from celebrating in the pool. Was it because he's a stand-up guy, or was there another reason?
Well, I would like to say that he's a stand-up guy, but it probably came down from the GM and the organization that they didn't need to be in the pool, which would have been nice to see them again in the pool, because I was there for the game when they were in the pool. But yeah, it would have been nice to see him in the pool again.
That's a dick move, by the way. What do Dodger fans really think of Yasiel Puig?
Oh man, I love him personally. Not any. I'm not sure how everybody else feels, but he is wild. He is reckless. Yeah, it is what it is.
Do you hear any grumblings from other fans regarding his reckless nature of play?
I mean, if they are not just fans, but also fans of the game, then yes, you hear that about, man, he shouldn't be running wild or doing what he thinks is best. He should just do what's best for the team.
That's more of a he's not upholding tradition, traditional baseball values. Do you think Clayton Kershaw will resign with Los Angeles after this season? And if so, what does he get?
I would hope he resigns. I don't see any reason he wouldn't. I mean, he'd probably be the most paid player in baseball. Gosh, I don't know, man. Our payroll's really...
It's the highest.
It's the highest to begin with. So, I don't know. Hopefully he signs, and maybe he signs for a little bit less. Who knows?
So do you think long-term deal or short-term deal?
I think he'll retire, Dodger.
Okay. So hundreds of millions of dollars for Clayton Kershaw.
Pretty sure.
Do you think Clayton Kershaw will ever be good enough? And to kind of frame that, he questioned his ability after the World Series last year with the, and I quote, well, one day maybe I'll be good enough. So do you think Clayton
I think
Kershaw
maybe he's just being humble, and being humble is one of the best keys that a star like him can have. But yeah, I think he's up there. I mean, as far as he still has time, he's maybe not the greatest pitcher of all time, but he's sure on his path to becoming that pitcher if he can stay healthy. I mean, he's been injury prone for the last couple seasons with us, and it's just not helping us out.
Speaking of injury prone, I have a question in here. Do you think he'll land on the disabled list sometime this season? And if so, what do you think it would be for?
I think he'll re-aggravate his back midway through the season.
Is that because he's holding up the entire Dodgers franchise right now?
Shit, pretty much. But my aide is doing his job right now. Yeah, he didn't get the W the other day, but he's holding his own.
Is it normal for Dodger fans to spend the money on a nice jersey but forego any numbering or lettering on the back of the jersey? Do they know that customization is possible?
Well, most of them don't even get it off of MLB.com. I mean, if you go to the swap meets out in LA, they're about half price.
And there's no lettering at the swap
Hey,
meets.
man, maybe they don't want to spend that extra $5 and get themselves a churro instead.
Well, at Chase Field, it's $60 to add lettering to you. So that's a lot of churros for $60.
Right? A lot of churros.
Do you know the riddle of steel?
I do not.
Figures. What do Dodger fans like most about Chavez Ravine, and what do they dislike?
I like the fact that it's carved into the mountain itself. Most people don't know that. There's not a bad seat in that stadium. I hate the fact that ticket prices are through the fucking roof. That's ridiculous.
What would you say an average price is for you and a guest?
Man, if you said, depending on the game, depending on the day of the week, but if you're going to a prime game on the weekend, you're looking at $300, $400 for a decent seat for you and a guest.
How are opposing fans, typically treated in Chavez Ravine?
Well, I can tell you from experience. I went to the playoff game in 2015 against the Mets, and there was a Met fan sitting in the left field pavilion. And after the game, after we lost game one, they threw beer, popcorn, and all sorts of stuff on top of this dude. It wasn't nice, but hey, it comes with the territory.
Are the Dodgers happy to have Matt Kemp back?
I'm happy. I was disappointed when he left, I'm not sure if he left or they traded him a while back, but I felt they should have got rid of Andre Ethier instead of Kemp.
What do you like most about Chase Field, and what do you dislike?
What I like most is I like I don't know, I just like everything about it. There's nothing bad about it, especially sitting behind home plate where you pay $1.75 compared to paying $200 to sit in decent seats at Dodger Stadium. I don't like that. It looks like a factory. Like when you're inside, it just looks like a warehouse. Like
some people will say that it looks like an airplane hangar.
Yeah, it's so simple, but it's nice.
What about when the roof's open?
That's always the best, when the roof's open. And sometimes they'll spoil you with the roof open and the AC on.
What do you think about us Diamondbacks fans at Chase Field? You can even go from the bottom of the spectrum of the rich white folk who are just there because they got tickets to big hardcore fans like us, the Brute Squad. What do you like about Diamondbacks fans? What do you dislike?
I like that they're just, not all, but some are loyal. There's very little loyal Diamondback fans that I've come across. Most people are only there when they start doing good. Once they start doing bad, tickets are cheap and you can sit pretty much anywhere. When they're doing good, everybody wants to be part of it. But that's just the nature with any team. Even like my Dodgers, when they're doing bad, maybe they're not that many people at the game. But when they're doing good, they're selling out left and right.
As a Dodger fan, have you ever looked at Madison Bumgarner?
I mean, I've looked at him, but I don't look at him like that.
I wasn't meaning like that.
Okay.
I just meant because he doesn't like it when people look at him, specifically Dodgers and Yasiel Puig.
Oh, man. Well, he's got to get used to it.
If the Angels are better this season than the Dodgers, or even go on to win the World Series, which some have predicted, how many hundreds of thousands of Dodger fans jump ship and become overnight Angel fans?
Well, I won't jump ship, but who knows? There isn't. I read an article the other day that there isn't many loyal Dodger fans as one may believe. Same like in Arizona where people go out there when they start winning. So who knows? LA's a big city. People might jump ship and become an Angel fan.
What do you think of Shohei Ohtani?
I think he's okay, but I think he needs to be an A-ball. I mean, he's doing really good so far, but in spring training, he didn't show much his worth, which I think he should have started off in A-ball and made his way back up to the major leagues.
That's what a lot of analysts believe, but he is off to a better start now. What do Dodger fans think of Zach Greinke now that he's moved on?
I was heartbroken. Oh, man. I actually thought he moved on, and it was great, It sucks for him, but it is what it is. His ball isn't breaking as much as it was breaking in LA due to the weather here in Arizona. There's been studies out there that the balls don't break as much in Chase Field as they do in other fields.
But it sucks for him because he left LA and now he's a Diamondback.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be tough for him to ever win a World Series.
Do you feel that the Los Angeles Dodgers and Arizona Diamondbacks rivalry is beginning to now outpace the Los Angeles Dodgers and San Francisco Giants rivalry?
I think not. Only because there's only a rivalry when you're in the postseason against each other all the time. It hasn't been, and I mean, the Dodgers and Giants go back to New York. I mean, before I was even thought of shit. But I mean, it can make its way there if the Diamondbacks continue to play good baseball and make their way to the playoffs. I think that's where rivalries start, is in the playoffs.
Have you ever tried the Brute Squad's brand of hot sauce called Brute Sauce?
No, I have not.
Do you like hot sauce?
Sure, I'm
Can
Mexican.
you taste this and tell us what you think as a Dodger fan of Brute Sauce, which is
Oh,
made
right.
with tapine chili? This is something that's house made that Colonel Clank from the Brute Squad brews himself at home using tapine chili.
I think it's good.
Yeah?
It's a little bit on the vinegary side,
Okay.
but it's pretty good.
Yeah. Would you buy a bottle for $5?
I would probably not.
Damn.
Because it doesn't even, I don't think it tastes good on chips. Maybe a hot dog, but I don't know. It's too vinegary.
Okay.
It's good though.
We'll have to tweak it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going down to the last two questions here. Would there ever be a scenario in which you would cheer for or hope for a Diamondbacks win?
Well, I was at the wild card game against the Rockies last season, and I was cheering for the Diamondbacks because I wanted to see my Dodgers sweep the Diamondbacks in the playoffs. Long story short, we were there sitting next to, or maybe a couple rows in front of Mathis's mom at the time, talking shit to Matt about Mathis the whole time. And when he got that bunt RBI, we started loving Mathis all over again. And that's when his mom turned around and told us that was her son.
Nice.
Felt like shit.
Was she very proud, Mama?
At that point, yes, but before then, she was quiet.
Did the bear claws come out when Mathis did good there?
I'm pretty sure they did.
All right. The final question, is there anything you'd like to say to Diamondbacks fans that are watching this interview?
Hopefully you guys do good and compete, and we can see you guys in the playoffs again.
All right. Thank you, La Lengua, for the interview, and we hope to see him again after the next Diamondbacks-Dodgers series in early May. Check out the interview on azsnakepit.com or facebook.com/the AZ Brute Squad. Thank you again, La Lengua.
No worries. Thank you.